In this video, I'm going to show you how to install these shims by Radium Engineering. These guys are a replacement for the stock taped on shims that Lotus did at the plant. I've already got these two done. You can see where I've got them set here and here. And the tools that you need for this are going to be a power drill, a 1/4-inch bit, a small bit, really doesn't matter what size, to do a pilot hole for your starting hole. This is going to be your main hole. And then a 10mm socket, 10mm open wrench, and an extension if you want. I use the extension and the socket wrench for this guy, for when I got underneath there to tighten that. This guy, you're going to have to reach your arm all the way up in here. I use this open end wrench, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So basically, these are the taped on stock shims from Lotus. You're going to kind of note where they are on the car. You can see on this side, I positioned them accordingly. This one, they're kind of like, on a slant, but I don't think it matters. I'm going to do this one across as well. It's more surface area there. That is going to be nice and flat on the clamshell. And then this guy, same area here. I'm going to just remove these. You can throw those away, save them, whatever you want to do. You can see these are the holes actually on the clamshell where the bolts come through on the other side, and they're going to mount on these threaded points of the frame. So what you're essentially doing is you're drilling a hole here. You got a little nut to install the shim. That leaves this threaded hole open. So when you go with your clamshell, that's where it attaches on all these points. All right, so let's get to work. So starting off, you lay your new shim down with that large hole right over the threaded hole. You're going to take this countersunk hole here. That's where your new bolt is going to go through. And with the Sharpie, just kind of mark that off. This is where you're going to make your drill point. After marking that with the Sharpie, I'm going to take my drill with a tiny bit here just to start a little starter hole so I can get a point. And then I'm going to switch the bit out to a 3/4 inch and then do the actual hole itself. That's what that small little pilot hole looks like. It's going to give me a good starting point for the 1/4 inch bit to go through. Now I just took my 1/4 inch bit and made my final hole here. You can see all lined up. Now with my shim in place, I am going to take this threaded bolt and lock nut and kind of install that here. What you can do is take your socket from under the side here. It's pretty easy to get to, super simple. You just get your bolts and nuts started, and then this is a number 4 hex, which is going to hold your bolt in place. So I'm going to get this one installed and then show you what it looks like done. Okay, got that guy installed. You can see we're right in the perfect location. On to this next one here. Let's remove these shims. This one's a little bit trickier, at least to get tightened, but same type of process with getting the hole. We're going to put a shim on here. We're going to mark the spot just like we did with this one. Mark it with a Sharpie, drill my pilot hole, and then drill my 1/4 inch hole. I'm going to get that done. Okay, now that this guy is in place, this is probably the toughest part of the job here, is getting this shim installed, because you got to get that nut on the bottom. There's no real easy way to do it other than to stick your arm up in this hole here. So I'll take the bolt and put the bolt in, and I'm gonna need 2 hands probably, so I will just explain the process as good as possible. So I'm gonna take this bolt with my one hand. I'm gonna hold this nut, sorry. With my one hand, I'm gonna hold the bolt. So I'm gonna push it down like this. And with the other one, I'm gonna reach up inside of this tunnel and then just get it barely started. So I'm gonna get this bolt just barely started on here so that it's in place. And then to tighten it down, I will reach up with this 10 millimeter open wrench bolt from underneath, just putting that in there, and then I'll tighten it down from the top with my hex wrench. Kind of a tight squeeze. I got chunky hands too, so you should be able to get this done. It's not the most comfortable. I'll show you step by step. First, I'm gonna get that bolt on, show you how it is, and then I'm gonna tighten it down with that. All right, this side, I am not able to reach my arm in there like I did over here. I don't know if it's just not enough room or this one is a little bit further up, but this is my solution. So I am taking one of these grill pokers, basically, and you can take a stick, whatever you can to get some extra length. And I have taped a 10 millimeter socket wrench on there, and you can see the nut is in there. What I'm going to do is basically stick it down that channel and okay, so I just want to show you, I'm holding it steady. You can see the bolt right there. So line the bolt up with that hole. I'm holding the wrench steady. And then now with my other hand, I'm going to take this part and should just screw right into the bolt, into the nut there. All right, you can see this is getting there. This thing did the trick. It was a little bit of a struggle, but I've got this on. It's tight, or it's grabbing from the bottom with that wrench. Now all I got to do is finish tightening. It's getting tight, but tighten the rest of this down. I'm gonna have to have my other hand to hold this still so I can tighten that down, but I'll show you when it's done. Okay, that's a wrap. This guy did the trick. There you go. All 4 of these are tightened down, installed in place. Got a little creative there, but hopefully this helps you with installing your clam shims. So yeah, guys, thanks.